Hello folks, in this lecture we are going to talk about tags. Why do we need tags and how can we create a tag for a specific commit? Tags are references that point to specific commit in Git history. Usually we create a tag to reference to a specific commit which is working fine. Let's assume that I am working on a project. After doing multiple commits, I have created a bug-free code. It has some commit ID which is not easy for me to remember. Then I can tag that as a user-friendly name so that it is easy for me to remember. Let me show you how does it work. Let's take this repository and me and Vayankil's user working on this one. Let's assume that I have done 39 commits. Now my code is working fine. And if you see the commit ID, this is the commit ID. Let's assume that I have deployed this one on my server. But still we continue to work on this project because we want to enhance more features. After some point of time, my code is not going as expected. I want to go back to the commit where I have taken this code and deployed it on my server. Then it is difficult to remember this SHA code or recollect it, right? Rather than that one, we can add one more pointer to the same commit as a user-friendly name. That is where tags comes into the picture, so that whenever I want to go back, I can just search for that tag and I can take that commit to go back to the previous version. Next, tagging is generally used to capture a point in history that is used for a marked version release, which means that we will take that point in time history or snapshot of our code and we'll name it as a version 101, version 1.0, version 1.1, like that, so that it is easy for us to understand that which level the code is working fine. Next, a tag is like a branch that doesn't change. So whenever we create a tag, after that, even though you do any commits, those doesn't reflect on that particular tag. Why? Because that is a point in time history. Whenever you go back to that tag, still you can see the same changes what you have taken while creating that tag. Let's go and do this one on our repository. So this is my Docker repository. I'm going back to my system. So let's go inside and open Git bash. So if you see here git log, there are a lot of commits. Okay, let's assume that at this point of time my code is working fine. Now I would like to create a tag so that at this point of time whatever code is there, it will be assigned to the tag. First of all, we'll see if there is any tags. Okay, you can see there is no tags at this moment. Now I am going to create a tag, git tag version 1.0. So what happens in my master branch at the time whatever commit is available. So this is the commit ID, right? At this point of time, whatever code is there in my master branch, it is going to tag it as a version 1. Now let's see git tag and git log. If I check, you can see a new tag has been attached to this one, that is a git tag v1.0. Now let's assume that on top of that one I have done multiple commits. Those commits are not working as expected. Then I no need to worry because I have tagged it as a version 1. So whenever I come back to this commit, I don't want to remember this commit ID because I have mapped it with the version 1.0. I just give the version 1.0, but we cannot do git checkout version 1.0. We need to use this reference point. I don't need to remember this one. I will just go and check for the version 1.0. So wherever version 1.0 is pointing, that commit I will switch back. Okay, that is the advantage. Now I would like to push these changes and we'll see where exactly do we see these versions. Okay, git status. Okay, nothing to commit because we haven't done any code change. We have added only a tag, right? So to push our tags onto remote repository, we should use git push origin version 1.0. So this is how we can push our tags onto remote repository. Before that, let me go and check whether any tags are associated for this repository. So this is our repository, and if I go here, you can see this is the tags and there are no tags associated to this repository. Now let's go and push this tag git push origin version 1.0. Okay, a new tag has been associated, and if I refresh it, we can see a new tag. So here version 1.0 is there. It is updated 4 days ago, but we have done recent commits, right? 4 days ago. Oh, okay. I got it. Because we haven't pulled all the commits from our remote repository to local system. Why? Because here we have 39 commits. Let me go and check it out. What was the latest commit I have? I think remove a VI file. I think we have used this commit as a version. Let me go and check. Git log. Yep, you can see here 97D, nothing but we have only until this commit in our local system. So whenever we tagged it, we have tagged it to this commit. Okay, this we named it as a version 1. After that, we have done multiple commits. Let's assume that these commits are not working. Then I don't have any issue. I can still go back to this version. Instead of coming over here, I can go to my code and I can go to tags and I can use this tag version 1.0. Okay, so this is the commit. After that, we have done six commits, and if you see here, the version 1.0 is tagged with this commit. So at this point of time, whatever code is there, same code is taken it as a version 1. If I click on this one, this was the commit what was happened. Now we are going to pull the latest code onto our local system and we'll use this commit, latest commit. We'll use this commit as a version 1.1. Let's go and pull the code, git pull. Okay, I have pulled my code. If I do git log, so this is the latest commit at this moment. And if I scroll down, you can see here version 1.0. Here we have tagged it as a version 1.0. Now I would like to tag this one as a version 1.1. Why? Because latest commit also working fine. I would like to capture this code at this point of time. For that, git tag git tag version 1.1. Okay, instead of that one we can use the commit id as well. Okay, so this is the commit id, right? Latest commit id. At least I can take first 7 digits. Git tag version 1.1, right? Sorry, I need to give git tag -a version 1.1 followed by this commit id. Okay, this is the command to add a new tag, and even we can give the commit id for this specific tag. I can give this as a, okay, let's assume that I'm giving version 1.1 which works with the customer portal. Let's assume that in version 1.0 customer portal was not working. In version 1.1 we have introduced customer portal as well. Then we can name it like this, and git log, if I check, this time it is tagged with the tag 1.1. Now let's commit this one, git push origin version 1.1. Okay, now we have added one more tag, and if I go and refresh it over here, we can see two tags. And if I go here, okay, this is the latest tag which we have added, and it is associated with this commit. Version 1.1, it is associated with this commit. Let's assume that I have taken latest code and deployed it on my system. Then if it is not working, I no need to worry because version 1.0 is working fine, and I will go back to this commit. That's how tags helps us to remember our working commits. That's all for this lecture, and see you in the next lecture.